Okay, so this is our topology, and what we want to do is we want to put this into Packet Tracer. So I'm going to log into Packet Tracer. And what I want to do is I want to do basically the sort of the same topology that I have here on the left side of the screen. So I'm going to actually move this over here, and then we'll make this so that it's a little larger. We can see a little bit more about what's going on here. And we'll do the 2621. I'm going to go in and going to power off the router, and I'm going to put in a cover for the network module. So I'm going to pick that up and drop it over here, and I'm going to put in 2 WIC 2Ts. I'm going to power this back up, and then I'm going to close it. While it's highlighted, I'm going to make multiple copies of this. And actually what we need is a total of 20 routers, because we have 10 edge routers, and then we have 10 internal routers. So I'm going to pause the video for just a moment, and I'm going to straighten this up so that this looks a little neater and also sort of matches our topology that we have here on the left. Okay, so here we are. We have our Fremont router over here. This is our edge router, our internal router. And then we have, for each of these other locations, we have both an edge router and an internal router. Now we want to go ahead and connect these. So I'm going to click on the connections, and we'll do serial links between each of these. So I'm going to do a 0, 0 to a 0, 0. And then I want to also go ahead and put in our link to our internal router here at Fremont. So router to router is going to be a crossover cable. Obviously we had a serial connection for our wide area connections. So this is Fremont. And it looks like I accidentally connected it to, here we go. I accidentally connected it to Louisville instead of to Dayton. I'm going to actually move this one up here, and I'm going to do another serial connection from 0, 1 to 0, 1 here. And we will do from 0, 0 to 0, 0 here. I think that gets all of them. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to read here, put these just a little further apart than what I have in here. And sometimes playing with the end will make it just a little bit easier as well. Okay, now we need to go ahead and include our DMZ and our other internal networking stuff. Now there is an issue with the router I've chosen here in that I don't have enough Ethernets here, so I'm going to actually need to put in another Ethernet into each one of these internal routers so that we can cover the DMZ. So we'll put that one in, powered it back up, and come up here, going to power down, take off the cover and power that back up. Put the same here, we'll go over, power down, take this cover off, put in a 1E here. Correct this time. And the reason we want to do that is we want to place at least one server in the DMZ of each of these, and I wasn't thinking about that when I initially set this up. So now we're going to go down to end devices, and we're going to do a generic server here. And I'll put that there. Pretty much all we're going to need on these servers is for them to just be generic servers for where we are right now. Now, connecting from a router to a server directly is also going to be crossover cable. So I'm going to go back to my cabling, and we're going to go from Ethernet 01, fast Ethernet 0 here, and we'll do the same thing here. We'll go from Ethernet 10 fast Ethernet, fast Ethernet 0 to Ethernet 10. I'm not using the fast Ethernet on the router for this particular connection because I want to connect my switch up to that connection. It's such a habit, I really want to do it each time, but we can go down to the Ethernet 10. Okay, so that connects our DMZ server that's in each one of these segments. So we also have some switches here, and so I'm going to click on network devices up here, and we're going to come down to switches here, and probably we'll just use a 296024 for each of these. Okay, so I think we're ready to get started on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect one of these switches via a trunk port to the router, and we're going to use straight through from the router's FA01 to a gigabit 01 here, and then we're going to do a crossover from the 02 gigabit over to this 02 gigabit in this one. And we're going to repeat that process through all of these others here. So from the 01 here to the 01 here, and then we're going to do a crossover from 02 here to 02 here. Okay, so let's double check to make sure that we have all of our things connected the way we're supposed to. It's a little hard to tell after you get a few things on here. I'm going to take just a second to bring up some of these. Now we need to have at least a couple of end devices on each switch, just so that we know that we are that we have connectivity. Okay, so I think that puts one machine in each subnet on each switch. So all of these are going to connect the straight-through cable. So we'll go from fast Ethernet, and we will do two, one, Okay, I think that is all of the connections that we need to make. Okay, so we are ready. We'll just save this. This is a lot of work to get this put in here. Okay,